This chest monster of shulker boxes is the aftermath of what I have been working on all week. Just stuff, lots and lots of stuff. And you know what? We're all done. We have made the gigantic thing we've been working on all week. I'm going to show you that in just a second. Before I do, I know I got an elytra. Woohoo! I traded it. I don't even remember what I traded it for. It was probably something worthless, like lots of diamonds and gold or something. Who needs diamonds and gold, right? It was great. Good stuff. I also have a new system over here, Goodie Box for trading stuff. So people come in here and they'll see, oh, I want a ton of apples or a spyglass. And let me just grab that. Hey, buddy. Hey, hey, hey. He almost went out of render distance. If I back up a little bit, he'll disappear. Up, and he's gone. Neat. Anyway, we're going to go play with this. I made a thing, guys. I made a really big thing, and it took me all week, and you've already seen the aftermath. And, well, I think it might be the biggest thing I ever made in my life. Well, you guys have seen, if you've watched me for a while, the, um, the gigantic castle I made, like, probably 5 years ago by now. And, this is bigger. Yeah, so it's like that. Anyway, let's go. Um, see, visit, end portal, poof. Now, I chose this area because I kind of like the jungle. Not because of the jungle trees. Jungle trees, as you know, are hideously ugly and basically furnace fuel. No, the reason why I like the jungle is because the grass looks so lovely. It really does. And, I wanted to kind of utilize that. Added to the fact it's got a mesa and a desert nearby as well. So, anyway, what I made is that. And I think maybe I got a little carried away. I don't have any resources left. Well, that's not true. You just saw the 8 shulker boxes of stuff. But yeah, so this is what we got. And I wanted to do it next to a warp. The warp system on this server is every, what is it, 400 blocks, right? You have one of these little beacony things that I'm standing on. See that? And the beacony things, they'll send you home or they'll send you to like a designated server warp, like the dig is over at the desert area. You can do that, and then this is the end portal. The end portal is like cross the bridge and in a hole, and then you go down, and it's a thing. And it was near a portal, and you can't beat that kind of convenience. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna build this here because it's lovely. And if you guys watch my videos, and I know you all do, you all watch all of my videos, you know that on another server, I'm actually in an area exactly like this. Okay? Jungle, mesa, badlands, whatever you want to call it, desert. I'm like right there. So this is kind of like home to me. So I decided, you know what, I like the area. It was already pretty flat. I hardly had to do any terraforming at all, and it just worked out. So let's take a look at this thing. In the spyglass, yes, spyglass. So nifty. I could play with this all day. Is that is that a chandelier? Yeah, this building has a lot of firsts for me. Like my first chandelier, and I made five. There are five in there. And my first indoor swimming pool, I made a little church and a conference hall. Well, they're both conference halls. I don't think I've ever made a motel before, and that's basically what this is. You get a little dirty path walking up to it, which I thought it was nifty. But look at this grass. Don't you love, how do you not love the jungle grass? Who does not want to build there? It's so green and lovely and holy cow. Yeah. All week. Oh, goodness. Okay, this is welcome desk and information. There's nobody there to welcome you, nor does it have any information. The first three floors are the easiest to tell you about because they're all exactly the same. There are 60 rooms, 60 to 70 rooms, something like that, on the first three floors, and they're all like this. They all have a little bed, they all have a little table, and a little chest. You know, you go over here, bed, table, chest. Some rooms are slightly larger than others, but none of them are particularly small. Like this here is the smallest room in the motel. There's a bunch of them, but you know, they're usually pretty decent size, which I think is important if you're traveling and you know, you want to have a space that you can just kind of chill out and chillax, and you know, this is the place for you. The Llama Motel. Come book a space now. Actually, I don't think you can book a space because vertical space is like hard to. Anyway, you know what I mean. Um, this is the other first. As you can see, I used frog lights, which I've never used before in my life. So this building has all kinds of firsts. For the llama, not only did I make a chandelier, but I made one out of frog lights. This is the first chandelier that I made out of the gold blocks, which I mean, in a motel like this, you got to kind of bling it up a little bit because it is kind of fancy. So you know, you don't want to be cheap. How did that happen? I don't understand. I pressed a button and the shovel went into the other hand, and I don't understand. Anyway, this level here is you know, it's got an interesting staircase. This stairs just kind of blub 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 blub, and they don't go up anymore. This kind of um, you know, denotes the end of, I guess, the peasant area with all of the little rooms, and it goes up to more fancier heights. Heights is totally a word. Don't question me. Anyway, little office building here, storage. You got one on the other side too. We have a conference room, you know, and it's like, why make a normal roof when you can make half of a normal roof and have half of the building jutting in the side of the building? I just dig that for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, so here's a conference room. You can see you have a guy up here having his conference, or maybe it's a church, or maybe it's a meeting. I don't know, but whatever it is, you have the podium up there to do it from. So there's that. And I have another one over here. And you're probably wondering why this is so spindly. It's because it's not holding up an actual structure. It's just holding up a spoilers. We'll be up there in a minute. But couldn't resist. Good stuff. Anyway, this here is you know, kind of a little cozier atmosphere. Maybe he's just you know, telling people about his pyramid scheme, and dude, it's totally not I'm not trying to rip you off, man. It's really gonna work. You can get rich quick. I mean, why don't you believe me, guys? Just give me all of your money. Totally not a pyramid scheme set up right here. Just letting you know, it's just a cozier space. Got my eye on the guy behind the podium, though. Tell you what, goofball. Anyway, so this is another storage and office. Both sides are generally exactly the same, you know. So let's go up here, and this we start getting fancy. This here is a suite. I know. And you have a fancy bed and fancy lamps, and you got some foliage, and you got some furnacinators or furnaci. Is furnaci the plural for furnace, or is it just furnaces? I don't know. Anyway, we have a little guy in iron, and some bookshelves, and all sorts of nifty stuff going on in the suite. There are 4 suites on this floor. The ones on that side are exactly the same as the ones on this side. This suite, the room is a little smaller, but it's still enormous. I mean, this is bigger than most starter houses. I'm telling you, not shabby. Although I didn't put a crafting table in here, so that could be awkward. But whatever. Anyway, you have your overlook of the lovely jungle and all the mobs down there that can't get you. See? Actually, I don't see anything down there. Actually, it looks kind of barren. Anyway, excuse me. Oh, the next room, guys. What have I done? What I the next room is another first for the llama. An indoor pool. Yes. Not an indoor pool, 2 indoor pools. I know. Oh, goodness. And, I like the way they came out. It actually looks like a proper indoor pool. And from downstairs, unless you look really hard at the windows, you can't tell. They just look like funny windows, man. I just can't believe it. But I have to, because I'm looking right at it. And it's an indoor swimming pool, too. I mean, I, probably one of my favorite floors. You gotta love a pool. Down here is the, what did I say this was? Changing area and supplies area down here. Uh, I don't know why you'd want to change in an open space full of windows, but in this world, maybe there's no stigma to that at all. So I don't know. There are no boxes for supplies or anything either, so maybe I'm just slacking. But this room, I actually set up here for a while to do the upper area, and I had like shulkers and all sorts of stuff going on, and kind of a handy little room, you know. Somebody could move in and live down there. I I would never know, you know. Anyway, the next the next part, as you can see down below, I said, "What's that little spindly thing? Surely that's not holding up a structure." Nope, it's just a veranda. What do they call that? I don't know. It's like a little deck area for, you know, campfires. See the campfire? Yes, it's just nifty. Wonder how far I can see with this thing. There's probably all manner of mobs down there. They're not going to render in at this distance, but I know you're down there trying to eat you some llama, but you can't get me. I think somebody has a house over there or something. I know what's going on, but I've never been over there, so I don't know. Anyway, On to the penthouse. And yes, there's grass up here. Because why wouldn't there be? Have some trees and some flowers. This is penthouse 2. This is penthouse 1. They're both exactly the same on either side, which is a recurring trend. I did kind of do exactly the same thing from one side to the other. It makes it a lot easier. Also, what makes it a lot easier is when you have a gigantic build like this, it kind of helps a lot if you kind of look at it like you'd look at dessert. Kind of a cake. You plan the first layer. See, I didn't know what was going to be up here when I started the first layer. Did not have a clue. But what I do is I start with a foundation and plan the first layer. And I just plan to have something be on top of it. Okay. My starting plan was the first 3 floors because that's where all the rooms are going to be. Then I came up with an idea for the next couple layers. And then you just kind of put the cake together and just keep going up and up and up and up and up. And that's how I did this. Because if I tried to plan all of this at once, my brains would explode. There'd be bits of llama all over the place, and it's just not worth it. So, that's the easiest way to do it. Is you don't think it through. No, don't don't think about anything at all. Thinking is bad. No, you just plan what you're working on, basically, and you don't go to the next section until you finish the last one, that kind of thing. And this is the result, basically. So, um, you know, that's how I did this. That's how I did it so quick too, because I knew I wasn't worrying about the next phase. I was just worrying about the one I was working on. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Can you dig it? I can dig it. Anyway, penthouse. Pictures. I know. We have this, which it's in the penthouse, and I was like, we need to have an expensive piece of art in the penthouse. So I was like, well, what's expensive? That's expensive. Gold, not so much. Not, but that's maybe, and it's a pillar. I mean, it's a penthouse. It's expensive looking, so it goes here. You know what I mean? I tried anyway. You got a bed, a little frog light lamp. You get a little end table. Nifty stuff. The next floor. And are we at 10 floors? How many floors are in this? I don't know. We have another chandelier. This one is kind of really spread out. Happy with it though. It's nifty. It's weird looking. I'm digging it. And got some books over here. Another place to sleep. Some foliage. Foliage is good. I like foliage. Up here we have a workstation. Worky stuff. A bed for sleeping. And last but not least, the observation deck. I know, in case you're wondering what it looks like from afar, we have the exact same thing right there. It's weird, but I like it. I didn't want to do like a normal roof that everybody does because normal is boring. I wanted to do an interesting roof. And this is definitely interesting. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's different. Nobody has ever done that before in their lives. There's probably a reason. But I did that there, I did it here, and we have the roof. And I like it. It's functional. You know, the lightning will hit the copper, and it's not gonna set all this wooden infrastructure on fire, which would be a bummer. And it's raining because of course it is, but it doesn't matter because we're in the building. Rain can't get me. But anyway, that's what I got. That is the enormous megastructure that is this gigantic motel that I have made in like a week or so. Even told you how I made it. and it was an interesting process. Sometimes you just got to trust the process. Like, I didn't know what I was going to put on this floor, and then a feller who also plays on the server was like, hey, you know, why don't you make a pool? And I was like, that's a brilliant idea. So that's what I did. But yeah, there's a pool here now. Um, I had no idea what I was going to put above the pool when I made the pool. I had no idea when I was down below that I was going to make a pool. It's one thing at a time kind of thing. Here's the next level there. We go down. It's the fire pit. Kind of showing you around while I'm walking down. In case I missed something, I don't think I did. This is like, there's a lot to look at here. I mean, this is really a big thing. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you fellers because I don't do this sort of thing much. And when I do, I go nuts. I don't ever want to build anything again for the rest of my life after this. I think I'm building did out for a while, but that's okay. Um, that's okay. Do appreciate you fellers for watching. Let me know what you think about all of this nonsense in the comment section below. And I guess that's what I got for now. Wow, this is a big place. I'm, it's amazing. I think this is bigger than my castle that I had a few years ago. That thing was enormous. This thing is a lot better looking than that castle was. That castle kind of looked a little derpy at times, but it was mine, and I liked it, and that's all that matters. Anyway, thanks again for watching, fellers. That's what I got. I'm out.